Hi, my name is Jenelle Riley. I'm an editor at Variety, and welcome to this SAG-AFTRA Foundation Conversation at Home with Ramy. Please join me in welcoming today's guests, the stars of this Golden Globe Award-winning show, actor Moe Calamawy and Ramy Youssef. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
It's so funny seeing you guys in these little windows. You really do look like brother and sister. It's
We were just saying that a couple of days ago.
Yeah. No, it's really striking. I feel like I'm on like a family Zoom call.
Yeah.
Well, this is primarily SAG actors who watch these, so I actually always like to start by asking, how did you get your SAG card?
Oh yeah. I always forget. I think I got it on this MTV show called I Just Want My Pants Back. I think that was I think it was that, or it was, yeah, I think it was that. Yeah. That or I did a show on Nick at Night called See Dad Run. I don't remember which one, but it was one of those.
Oh, what was this show I Want My Pants Back about?
It was about this guy who he like, I think he had a one-night stand with somebody and then he left his pants there and then he just wants them back. And then I was friends with somebody or something like that. And my scene, it got cut, I think, but I'm pretty sure I did not make it on screen. Yeah.
That's amazing. May, for you?
I did a show called The Long Road Home 3 years ago. And yeah, I got the card from that.
Wow, just 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was cool. It was one of the first things that I auditioned for after school, and so I wasn't expecting anything, but I got lucky.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was fun. Yeah.
Again, I want to say congratulations on the success of the first season and Ramy for winning the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Comedy. Much to Paul Rudd's chagrin, he made a joke on Saturday Night Live about what it was like to hear you called. I don't know if you saw that.
That was so good.
But honestly, nobody looked more surprised than you when you won.
Yeah, super surprising. Was not what I thought was going to happen at all. I mean, I think leading into it, I talked to my publicist and I was like, "What do you think?" And she was like, "Yeah, I think there's a chance, but I think it's probably going to be Hader." And I was like, "Cool, I get that." And then it happened, and yeah, it was very out of body.
I actually want to go back to the beginning of the show because obviously I know how Ramy got his part. But May, how did you come to be cast in the role of Dina?
I just auditioned. I mean, Ramy had let me know that there were a few parts for me to audition. Like you'd asked me to audition for a part, and I was like, no, I want to audition for the sister. And it was just like a normal audition process. There wasn't any.
Yeah, there were a few parts that and that I had thrown May's way, and I had been thinking about her mainly to play the sister, but I was like, "Do you want to read these other ones?" And she was just like, "No, I'm just gonna read the sister." Like she was just like kind of like very much like, "That's the one I'm gonna read," and I was like, "Cool, that's probably why you're gonna be the sister." And it was one of those things where I often so many of these roles, I had people in mind, and May is certainly one of them, but I would kind of do the thing where I want to see what do the other people think, what do the producers think, whatever. And so I would kind of like, be like, "Hey, what do you guys think of these tapes?" And it was really cool where everyone was like, "Oh, May." Like it was just like hands down. Like everyone was like, "Oh yeah, May." And another one of those was Leif, who plays my uncle, where I was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be him. And then, but I'm like, "What do you guys think of these?" And everyone's like, "Well, yeah, like, this is the guy." And I was like, "Yeah," because those are the people that I was thinking of while writing it.
I didn't realize you guys knew each other before the show.
I think we met through Leif.
We met through Leif around 6 months before.
Oh,
right.
I think it was earlier than that. I think it might have been even because I think I met you before I pitched the show. So I think it was earlier than that, May.
Oh,
I think it was
okay.
I think it was over a year at least that we ate at Mogador.
Remember that?
Yeah.
We Venmo'd each other for a while. Really lame joke, because I think that I got a T on top of it, and I was like, oh, I'll pay you back. And he's like, forget it. And then we had a Venmo joke about how people Venmo each other like $1 sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, so we would like Venmo each other money for like a year. Like that'll actually tell you how long we've known each other, because we were just Venmoing each other money, like random amounts of money, like
5
75 cents. Yeah. Nothing too. Neither of us had any money, so we were just like.
I feel so much pressure with Venmo because you have to put like a little emoji or icon of some sort to explain what you're Venmoing, and it's too much pressure for me.
And then other people have to see it. It's like
bingo.
Oh, all my Venmo stuff is private. Yeah, no, I'm not letting anyone see it.
Wait, you can make your emoji section private as well?
You can make all your interactions private so that only the person you're with sees it.
It's not the point of this, but good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I actually want to talk about how the family in this show really feels like a real family. And I guess knowing each other helped beforehand, but also the actors who play your parents are so wonderful. Did that chemistry sort of develop instantaneously?
Yeah, I mean, it felt really real pretty quick, right, May?
100%. I mean, you and Hiam developed a really fast bond.
Yeah.
They have this like really nice connection, and I kind of just tried to piggyback on that.
No, it was definitely meeting Hiam, who plays my mom. Such an instant love, just artistically, personally, everything was really cool. And then Amr, who plays our dad on the show, is one of the most just really fun-loving guys, and just really like creative people that I've ever met, and he really just brings a really cool energy to the set.
Yeah, he's really knowledgeable.
May, you have a great episode with Hiam this season, the They episode, where Dina sort of has to like, I think it's a conversation a lot of us have with our mothers, where it's like, you don't have to say everything you're thinking. you know, it's a really cool episode that is sort of just the two of you for a lot of it. That had to be thrilling.
It was a lot of fun because I had been craving that sort of connection with the mom, especially to see different colors of our relationship. And I know that relationship well because I have something similar with my dad. And Hiam's just so funny because especially Mesa's so endearing because she wants to learn. She's not challenging you. So I'd feel bad sometimes when I'd get so frustrated with her as Dina, because I'm like, as May, I'm like, I get it. Like my personality is so different than Dina in ways, but it was just funny. Like she just cracks me up so much because she's so earnest in her judgments.
It's such a great episode too, because you understand that she's not ill-intentioned. She's not trying to be mean. She misgenders someone on accident and just proceeds to make it worse and worse by trying to apologize. Ramy, I'm sort of curious, what was the genesis of that episode?
It was really, I think, so much of what we love to look at in this show is gaps of understanding, and also I think generational conversations. And it kind of feels like the perfect topic to look at the gaps between generations, and it being coupled with kind of her own citizenship quest and kind of her, desire to be part of the process, and really her desire to want to know on a certain level. It was really exciting to look at.
And you got to share scenes with two-time Oscar winner Moe Herschel Ali this season, and I understand, did he reach out to you?
He had reached out as a fellow practicing Muslim to talk about how much he appreciated what was happening in the show, that the mechanism of the show was not someone trying to strip their faith away, but really trying to adhere to it. And that convo really organically grew incrementally, slowly, but also really quickly, where it just went from, we should grab some food, to, hey, would you want to be in one episode, to, all right, like, you're going to be the backbone of this season with me. And so it was a really cool shift. And then I think the reality of him being on set was amazing. And we just kind of, he's the kind of person, he's there, and just bringing this emotional leadership that's amazing, because he really listens, and he's so he's so about the work, but also really wants to have people feel comfortable too. It's just things you don't expect. I mean, May can obviously speak to it too.
Yeah, I loved working with him, and I like I told him, he's just such a great teacher, and he was always curious, and he would introduce himself to everyone on set, and was always like in some kind of conversation, again, because he's so curious, and was always aware of what was being done or what was being needed, and like trying to lend a hand. And it was just nice to see, because you work on sets where people aren't always that way. So to see someone at his level offering himself so generously is something that I think I will take with me into all my work in the future.
You know, your first season was so excellent and so acclaimed. Was there any pressure going into a second season, like to keep that level up? I think I might have actually even liked the second season more, to be honest.
That's really cool to hear. I mean, I do think that second seasons are polarizing for a lot of reasons, because just on a creative standpoint, like, let's taking the audience out of it. As a creator, you kind of have to feel this balance between, you want to keep the essence of what it is and what worked, and then you also need to change things because you don't want to keep doing the same thing. And I felt like, in terms of this journey of who am I, and watching somebody struggle with that, we probably did all the things we needed to do to the best that we could. I mean, it kind of ends with him going to Cairo on a journey of self-discovery. And so season 2 couldn't have been, he keeps discovering himself, you know, like, it's like we kind of, you know, we did that. And so instead of who am I, it really transformed into, well, this is who I actually am. And instead of it being so aspirational, it really was like, oh, this needs to be transformational. We need to see him deal with his problems. And in leaning into him dealing with his problems, that influenced the tone. It influenced, it's still our tone, but it is darker, because what he's going through is darker. And we still have the same approach to our humor, but it sits in a different context. And so we definitely approached season 2 with the idea of wanting there to be more plot, so that we could have more pressure on him and on the characters around him. And that was exciting for us.
And you both went through a lot this season. I mean, it was so great seeing Dina, you know, going to law school. Ramy, you open the season with a porn addiction, and you go through this engagement. I mean, a lot happens. For each of you, what was the most challenging scene or episode for you to do?
I mean, mine was the standalone episode for Dina was probably the most challenging, because it's not something that I wanted to do. And Ramy was like motivated me to go. I remember I was like, oh no, I don't feel good. And he's like, great, you don't feel good? That's what we're going to do. And I had like I had one really difficult day. And then I remember Ramy came and spoke to me, and he was like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel like throughout. I was like, whoa, okay, I get it. I get what Ramy's doing. It's like, I didn't realize just putting yourself out there really vulnerably and showing the parts of yourself you're not really, like, you don't show and you try to hide and you're not proud of, you get this like hangover after it. So I had to deal with that a bit. But I'm glad that I did it. This is art. So, a la Ramy.
Well, it's definitely this thing where, like, I think in the conversations that we had about May's episode, it was obviously bringing up things that were real to her. I mean, like, we have this scene where we see the back of her head where she's losing hair, and that's actually the back of May's head. And so much of that came from this conversation. And so for me, there's always this tension I feel going up to do stand-up and like right before doing something, and it's so nerve-wracking. And she was feeling that too. And so it was like, oh, cool. That's a good feeling. Like, that's the feeling we want to feel. That's exciting. You know, we can tap into that. And the way her episode is connected with people is such a reflection of how honest her work was. And so it was really exciting. And I think for me this season, the whole thing is obviously, it's very bearing for this character, and we lean into his ego a lot. And in many ways, this season is a little bit of an ego death for him, not in the way that this character thinks it is, you know. It is very much like he really falls hard. Kind of as a performer, me being like, okay, cool, this isn't going to be like likable Ramy, like this is going to be, we're really going into something that excited me. It was like challenging and also really exciting.
Do you guys get to have fun on set? Because, you know, some of your episodes are very serious. You're tackling some serious issues, but it's also very funny in the way that life is funny. What's sort of the atmosphere on set like? Ramy, you're doing like 6 jobs on this show. I don't know if you have to stay serious and, you know, get your work done, or if you guys are able to have fun.
I mean, I'm running around like pretty crazy. And so I think a lot of it is me like walking by May and other people, and I'm like, oh, they're having fun. That's cool. Like, I'm like excited that people are having fun. I feel like I'm always just kind of like popping by. And I'm like, oh, cool. People are having a good time. Right. I got to go. Feels like a lot of it.
But I'll like walk by the makeup area and I'll see Ramy dancing with like everyone in there. And I'm just like, all right, okay. I'm just like, we have like a really serious scene coming up, and I'm like, that's great. I'll like walk away. But it's a lot of fun on set. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's friendly. Like, we wanted to be. I mean, Laith, who plays the uncle, was on set nearly every day, even when he wasn't in scenes, because it's just such a fun place to be. And Ramy has curated such a good group of people who really enjoy each other's company.
Ramy, you've talked about the pressure of, you know, portraying the first Muslim American family in a TV series. I'm sort of curious, what has been the response, you know, from your community? It seems to be overwhelmingly positive, but actually, you tell me.
There's a ton of positivity, and I do think it is, but I think there's also a lot of, the thing is, I think if you're a Muslim American, if you're an Arab Muslim, the audience under that umbrella is in a very unfair position. It's a very unfair situation because you don't have any options, and there's something about that lack of option, that scarcity coupled with marketing, where there's almost this dialogue of like, well, here's the Muslim show, you know, here's the show for you. And I think it puts the audience in a weird place because they're like, well, wait, this isn't me. Like, I'm not this guy, you know, like, or I don't agree with this tone, or like whatever it might be. So it is very polarizing for some people. And I think there are reactions that reflect that, but I'm very sympathetic to that, because I get it. Because if someone went out and made a show and told me, well, this is you, and it wasn't, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, it's not. You know, like that would be my gut reaction. So I think there's definitely a lot of that, which is it's very fair and warranted, but it's more about, I think, the landscape of entertainment, and less about the specificity of anything we're doing or not doing. So I definitely see that. But in terms of what this show is representative of, you know, that's very narrow. There's under the umbrella of Muslim, there's so many experiences. So I can't really ever think that our show is the voice of that. Our show might be the voice of like Arab Muslim men who jerk off too much. That's probably like, yeah, I'm their leader. But other than that, you know, there are small moments. This is a show of small moments.
And I'm curious, can you tell us anything about your plans for season 3?
I'm going to dig deeper into the family. That's what's exciting to me, is we're going to just dig deeper into everyone, starting with Ramy, but also with everyone that we love. And I think we're going to see everyone kind of have to deal with the repercussions of Ramy's actions and kind of what that does for everyone and to everyone. And so that's the kind of thing that, in many ways, I never thought I'd feel this. We got to the end of the second season. I was like, oh, we're just getting started. Like, I can't wait to like really dig into a lot of the things that, you know, and I think especially with May's character, with Dina, we're going to have a lot of fun and kind of get to see a lot more of her.
Exciting. Before we go, I want to remind everyone watching at home for information on SAG-AFTRA Foundation's COVID-19 Relief Fund. You can read in the comments. I'm just sort of asking everyone, how are you holding up during this time? Are you finding ways to stay creative? I know most people, Ramy, grow quarantine beards. You've done the opposite. You're clean shaven.
It got really wild. It was the longest it had been. It got real wild. And then one day I was like, I wonder what my face looks like. And then, that was last week. And then here we are.
Oh, you just shaved it off last week?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. You look like you could play like the child you in the show if you need to do more flashbacks.
Yeah. No, we were literally like, I shaved and we were like, am I going to play young me in an episode? Like, I was like, this is what I looked like when I was 20. Like, it's really wild. Like, it's kind of insane.
That's great.
Are there ways that you guys are staying creative though? Are you reading anything, binging shows, doing work on your own? I mean, you have a whole season of a show to write, so you're probably busy.
We haven't gotten into that yet, but May and I have actually been working together on something else on the side that we've been having fun just brainstorming on. And we edited a lot of the show during the pandemic, so it's been actually like a period of work.
Oh, good. May, what about for you?
I feel like I was at a very privileged position because I always had the show to look forward to. So I didn't feel like I never got hard on myself about not feeling like I wasn't doing anything. I spent a lot of time with my family before I got my own place. And I read a lot. I've done things I never thought I would do. Like I started a book club, it's not me at all. But just like a lot of great stuff has come out of it. And I feel like I've just gotten closer to my community. And yeah, I haven't really watched a lot, but I guess finding that connection with people more has been the thing that's been keeping me happy right now.
Well, I want to remind everyone that all the episodes of season 2 are on Hulu now. You should check them out. Congratulations on another great season. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenelle.